Hi guys, I'm Samina from thecodecottage.com and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are on day 23 of our 30 days of code and we are learning how to build our very own WordPress theme from scratch. So this is what we have done so far. We have successfully completed the front page of our website and today we will be working on this blog section. So this will contain all the excerpts of our blog posts and this is the static website and we'll be making this um, dynamic right about now. So the first thing that I want to do is head into the back end of my local WordPress installation and I will add a new page called blog right here. So all pages and add new. So I'll add a new page called blog and I'll just publish this. And what I'll do then is head into the settings of my backend WordPress and head into reading then. And in this page here, we had selected home as the home page. So that is invariably the front page that loads every time we visit the website. So the posts page, now we will select as blog and we will save the changes. Let's visit the site and click on blog and see what we get when we do that. So now what you get is that index.php fallback. If you have followed along before, you will know that initially this is the page that was loading over here on the home page in the first instance before we changed the settings in the backend for it to fall back to the home page as the opening web page. So now that falls back to blog, which is just what we want. So I can also just to give you a background and just to make sure that you understand that that is exactly the page that gets affected over here. What I'll do is I'll just take out the sidebar.php from my index.php, sorry, the sidebar in the PHP section. So you will see that all of this will disappear and you will only see hello world and then the footer. So let's do that. I'll just get rid of this little section here, save it, and then when I refresh, the sidebar will be gone. There you go, sidebar goes away. So this means that our blog page falls back on, is taken from index.php. Now I'll put that back again, refresh this, save that first, and then refresh this, and you'll see the sidebar will be back again. Perfect. So we know which page we have to manipulate if we want to design this section. So let's get working on that. Now the first thing that I want to do in my index.php firstly is get rid of this div and main and the closing div and main as well, just to make sure nothing breaks. So now what we want to do is we want to have our sidebar on this side and this to have a certain formatting. So we have done that formatting right here. So what I'll do now is just take it up to call span 2 of 3. These first three HTML tags, which is the section tag, the div, and another div, which is the column within the row. So I'll go here and here. I'll paste that. Give this an indentation to the inside. Firstly, I'll close these divs and the section tag just so I don't create anything additional. I'll also add this call span 2 of 3. Over here, I'll add row, blog excerpt section. Okay. So we know exactly what those divs do. Now, the first thing that we want to do is we know that all of this is going to be a part of the column section right here. But once this column ends, we have to start a new column inside that row alone, because here, as you can see, this is our main row, right? This is our main row, and within that row you can see we also have the sidebar included. So inside this main row right here, we have the call span 2 of 3 and the call span 1 of 3, which is our sidebar. So let's add that sidebar now. So what I'll do is I'll copy this and only up to the aside section, because we won't be adding this. We already have built-in widgets to do that for us. So now we are in index.php again, and after this call, I will add this sidebar. Then I will close this sidebar and give it widget area. Perfect. Now what I'll do is, here obviously you can see this is the sidebar and the footer one below the other, but we want the sidebar to be displayed here. So for it to be displayed here, it needs to go inside the call span one of three. So I'll cut this sidebar right here and add, oops, not a sidebar, PHP, close the PHP and then paste that get sidebar right here. Now when I refresh it, you'll see something major happening. So what you see now is that the sidebar has become a part of our main blog excerpts, and this is our first blog post. Exciting stuff, isn't it? So now we're just going to clean this up a bit more. Firstly, so I hope you firstly understood what we have done here. Let me just be a bit more informative about this. So I've just reduced this font size of my code so you can see everything in one window and I don't have to scroll, as that can get a bit confusing. So this is one column right here and this is another column, and both these columns form part of this row which you can see over here. So I hope this has become clear to you, and I'm just going to save that now. So this is our code right here. Now what I'll do is, I'm just going to delete this post that we have by default over here, and I'm going to add a few blog posts of my own, just filling in with some lorem ipsum. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. So I'll just go to the Lipsum generator. By now we've done this several times, so it shouldn't be a problem. I'm just going to copy this entire paragraph here, head into the blog section, go to my dashboard, and in my posts page right here, the post section, I'll go to all posts and delete whatever posts we have because they are just by default generated by WordPress. So I'm just going to trash that and add a new one, and I'll say this is a blog post and just paste that here. Perhaps just give it some paragraphs right here just to separate things out. I'll add some categories. So I'll add travel, add new category, and that's been added. I won't be adding the featured image now because we really need to create that image size, because if I add this featured image now, it's going to show up on the website as a really large image and it will span the entire width of the browser, which we don't want. Once we have set the sizing for it, then we can. So for now, we'll just focus on creating posts. So I'll just very robotically create about 6 posts or so. Now I can add some more of these right here. Now I'll add a new category called food and publish this post. Then I'll add another post. Again, this is a blog post. So I'm just going to fast forward now and create about 6 posts in a similar fashion, and then we'll see what to do ahead. So I'm going to skip this now and move on to the next one to save time. So I've just finished working on all 6 of these posts, and we'll go into the front end now and see what we have done. So to the blog page, and let's just see, these are all of our blog posts right here. Perfect. So we'll be doing a lot to this in tomorrow's video. But for now, all I wanted to do was to show you how to create a pagination, and we'll also clear out this widget area right here because we obviously do not want these lists and all these bullet points right here. So we'll stylize that right now. Now what I'll do is firstly create that pagination. So to do that, I'll firstly head to the settings, so orange marmalade, and in the settings then we go into reading, and in here blog posts show at most how many posts. So usually by default it's 10, and I like to leave it at 10, but while developing, just for the purpose of trial and to test everything out, I'll leave this to 4. And because we have 6 posts, I'll show you what happens when we visit the blog page now. You'll see the first 4 posts, and then you'll see this thing called older posts. But I don't want it to be like this. I want it to have something like this. I'll just quickly show you what I have on this pre-made WordPress theme that I have developed and which is available for purchase on Etsy. So once it crosses a certain number of posts, I like to create a slick pagination like this, which lists out how many pages there are in total. So if you go on to the second page, it shows you all of those posts on the second page. So here we just have one, and then you can go to the previous or click one, and that way, depending on how many posts you have allocated for a page. So that's how I want it to look. So let's do that over here. So first thing that I will do is, this is essentially the column that we have done, and now I want it to be not a part of this column or the widget. I want it to be outside of this entire row. It will be a part of the blog excerpt section, but it will be outside of this row. So we create a new row. I'll give it a class. Oops, it has to be inside the div, sorry. I'll give it a class of row and add that right here. Here then, I will create another div with a class of call span 2 of 2. So that centers it right in the middle of the website page. Right? And now that the container has been created, I will create the final section which will have all the paginated pages. So it's basically called pagination. So I'll give it a class of paginations to stay semantic. And I'll also close this tag right here, or close the comment, and so we know what this div stands for. Now within that pagination, what I'll do is I'll create a new PHP code block and call it, or echo, paginate underscore links. So this is a predefined WordPress specific PHP call. So when I refresh this now, you'll see that we have 1, 2 and next showing up over here. But it's also showing this portion right here. And we don't want that. So how do we get rid of that? That is essentially the post navigation. So when we cut this off, save it and refresh, you'll see the older post will have gone. There you go, it's gone. Have this or style this section. So firstly, let's just inspect element and we'll do it live on the screen right here. So I'll target pagination right here and let's add some styling to that. So firstly, text align will be center because we wanted to center align, and instantly you see that it's getting aligned right to the center of the screen. Oops. That is center. That's brilliant. The next thing that we'll do is increase the font size because I want it to be a little sizable. Font size 18 pixels. Now what I'll do is add a padding, so 10 pixels and 30 pixels from the right and the left, and I will also give it a text transform of uppercase because we're keeping it as railway. Letter spacing will be, say, 2 pixels. And I'll also reduce the font size slightly because of the whole uppercase thing. Maybe I'll leave it at 16. That looks good to me. Then what I'll do is I will also create a margin of 10 pixels from the top and bottom and 30 pixels from the left and right. So that's working out for me. Now what we'll do is, there's this class called page numbers. So it targets the individual numbers of the pages that are created. So I'll create that, I'll create styling for that. So this current can wait. I just basically want to style the page numbers. So we'll make those changes. Actually, we can just target this one right here. So as it has just page numbers right there. So that will have the following styling. Firstly, I'll give it a padding because I want it to be spaced out really evenly. So I'll give it a padding of 0.5% from the top and bottom and 2% on the left and right. That's a bit much, I think. I'll just leave it to 1 perhaps. I think that looks good. Then what I'll do is, now we'll give it the background color, and this is, I'm going to give it that cream shade. background, that one. So it's got that lovely background color right here. Now we'll also add the background color in general to all. So I'll get rid of this A actually. And we'll have that color for every one of those because this was not a link, and that is why this active page number wasn't a link, and that's the reason why it wasn't adding that background. But we don't want it, we want it to be on every one. Now for the active one, what I'll do is I'll head to this one because that's the active one, and I'll give it a styling. I'll only change the color to green that we have right here. So it's now in green, and obviously I think I will increase the font weight to be like 600 maybe, and I'll increase the font weight probably for the entire pagination right here. Font weight to 500 I think would be nice. Okay, that looks really nice. So what I'll do is I'll copy all of these stylings that we have created right now and paste that into my style sheet. So this is the main pagination styling that we have created. Copy that, head straight into we have right here blog page, blog excerpt section. So here we'll add this pagination. I'll just create a little comment so we know exactly what this section stands for, and I'll paste that here. Oops, font weight somehow didn't get included, so add that. Now the next thing that we do is page numbers, alright, and this is what we had created right here. So I'll copy all of this styling, paste it here, and finally it was the active one. So I'll do dot page numbers dot current, which is right here. I won't take the span, there's no need for that. I'll just head straight here. Now I'll just refresh this and you have the styling applied. It's not applying here because of some cache issues. So I'll just head into my Firefox and it should work just fine. Heading into the blog now. There you see our pagination is ready. I'll actually just get rid of that font weight 600. It's better to be consistent in terms of the font weight, so I'll let it be at 500. So you go, refresh that. That looks fabulous. Very happy with this. So I think we'll stop for the day because we've covered quite a lot of ground today. We firstly created this entire structure and added the pagination. So when you click on second, it goes to the next page. So there are 2 posts here, a total of 6. Now tomorrow what we will do is firstly head into our content.php because that's the fallback for index right here. So it takes all of the content, right, as you can see, while have post, the post, get template part slash content. So what it does is it creates this little loop here, but it takes all of its content from template paths content, and this is the page that we will be working on tomorrow, and we will also straighten up our widget section. So this is it for day 23, and I hope you're enjoying this series and learning from it. If you are, then don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and also if you have any feedback or comments, suggestions, then pop them down in the comments below. And if you find this entire series helpful and if you want to see more of these kind of videos, then do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and while you do that, also don't forget to hit the bell icon that will notify you every time I post a new video. So until I see you again for day 24, happy coding and goodbye.